What's up, guys? So we're on part 2 of the sheet metal shaping station here. We're going to be doing part 2 today. So as you can see, there is the plate that I was talking about. It was bolted down in the bed of my truck. Somebody was using it to I don't know, an RV or a gooseneck of some sort. It's definitely homegrown and definitely a terrible plate, and definitely you should never tow with this. Just to take a gander at it, I mean, this is kind of what we were dealing with here. I bought the truck with this in it, so don't judge me. I would have never ever towed a vehicle or trailer or anything with that setup. It would have never happened. But my bag is 17 inches by 17 inches, and it just so happens that is plenty of material for that. It also just so happens that it's thick and heavy. It's very, very heavy. So I went ahead and took it out of the bed of the truck off camera, but I'm going to get on camera now and try and get this from here. I am going to try and roll it on this little tiny cart. Don't judge me. It's basically the only way I got to do it. I'm here by myself. And I'm going to roll it from there to over here and put it on the table. I'm not even going to cut the ball off, because in my head when I was talking about it in the part 1, the ball was in the center of the plate, but it's actually all the way up in the front of the plate. And I only need the bottom of the plate. So what I'll do is I'll just jog the machine over the ball and cut out where I need to cut out. So let me set you up on a tripod, and then we will get to this. You might see me die. And I promise I'll post it. If I die, well, I won't post it, but I'll tell my wife to post it. Sierra, post it. Dragging it off this cart. Okay. Well, funnily enough, I think I fixed this cart, but it won't carry that weight. So, plan 2. I made that thing my bee. Made that thing my bee. It's on there. Heavy as all hell, but it's on there. So let me go program it real quick. I just need, so the bag is 17 inches, square shape, 17. So I'm probably gonna make it like 17 and a half, the plate. So we'll make it 17 and a half, hole cut in the center, and then we should be ready to rock and roll. So let's get this thing cut, and then we'll get it cleaned up. Probably hit it with the SCT here in the background, try and polish it up a little bit. There's a bit of a bow in this plate. Not too worried about it. I think once I cut it and everything, it'll be about as straight as I need it to be. And again, a sandbag's going on it, so it's gonna take up most of that shape. Yeah, and then we'll weld it to the axle, and this thing's gonna be a heavy mamma jamma. So I'm very, very excited to get this done. So let me go program it, and then we'll cut it. Okay, I designed the part in Fusion 360. I programmed it. My paperwork says 55 amps and 70 psi. So I've set the machine, and I haven't cut anything this. That might not be true. I think I may have cut something this thick already, but I can't remember if I think it was for a knife base, like a quench tank base. I think I cut something this thick before, but anyway, machine's on 55 amps, set to 70 psi. About to load up the program. If I mess it up, basically I mess it up. So I'm gonna have to buy steel if I mess it up. So hopefully I don't mess it up. I named the program Baggy Daddy Heavy. Okay, so this has happened before, and I don't know if this issue is with my computer or with the program, but occasionally it'll be fine, and then all of a sudden you'll press start, and the machine will start going, it'll start cutting, and then the program crashes, and then the machine just sits there on for as long as possible, just burrowing a hole in the steel that you're cutting. Well, this time I went to go press start, and it failed right before I pressed start. So we're gonna try again. Okay, we're gonna try again this time. Hopefully it doesn't crash in the middle of it. I really need to put coolant in this thing. Okay, so Baggy Daddy Heavy is done. It's been cut, and it's sitting right there on top of that bad daddy. So let me clean up real quick and kind of move some stuff around. That thing was heavy. It's very, very heavy. So I think it's gonna be perfect for exactly what we need. The hole in the center, I'm having some problems with perfect round cuts when it comes to circles, at least on thicker material. So I need to look into that and see what the heck's going on. Again, nothing to hide from you guys. I'm still learning on CNC, CNC plasma, I should say. And, you know, I'm just not fully dialed in. I mean, this machine's kind of one of those machines where you have to play a lot with it. So I'll get the hang of it. But let's grind on this thing and get it nice and pretty. All right? Okay. Okay, so I moved some stuff out of the way. One thing I realized just now, too, is I had the settings on the machine set for 3/8. And this is a bit thicker than 3/8. I was thinking I was probably pretty close since the last few settings in between were all 55 amps. I probably could have went up to, probably max machine out, probably would have went to like 60 amps. And I probably wouldn't have that problem with it kind of melting back into itself. Also, there's no dryer on the compressor. My setup's not perfect, and I'm still learning on that machine. So we'll get it figured out though down the road for sure. Proper PPE is necessary. Cleaned it off using the Eastwood SET. I love that thing. It's actually pretty sweet. It's just, this thing is so pitted and it's got so much scale all over it that, you know, it's just never gonna polish out or anything. I just kind of wanted to get all the rust off of it since I have to weld it. And I kind of want it to look a little pretty, I guess. So Anyway, I got it kind of just sitting on top here. Like I said, I was having some trouble getting this hole to be cut round, but it sits in there nonetheless, and I don't know if I'm gonna waste any time trying to clean out the hole in order to get it to slide over. It kind of starts but doesn't go all the way over. That's kind of fine for me. What I think I'm gonna do instead is try and get this thing as level as possible, throw a tack on it. I'm gonna take some measurements on how level the wheel is, and then I'm just gonna try and match the top to the wheel. And then I'm just gonna tack it and maybe hammer it around a little bit to get it perfect, or close to perfect, and then we'll weld it down. So that's what I think I'm gonna do now. One thing that'll absolutely bother me to no end, and I will have to throw this in the trash, is if I look at it from the side and this edge does not line up and is straight with this edge. That will drive me nuts, and I will have to burn it with fire and throw it in the trash. So to me, I don't even care if it's wonky this way, like on top. It just has to be visually lined with this, the rack part. So if I don't get that right, I will throw this in the trash can. Theoretically, you would think if this edge and this edge is straight, that this should be straight. So I'm gonna go with that. So, hoping for the best here. Okay, so I got this thing pretty buttoned up. It's nice and level with the wheel. The bubble matches perfect to the wheel, so that gives me at least some idea that it's level of some sort. I just sort of ran a little bit of bead around. I'm gonna fill this whole thing in just to give it some strength. When I was tacking it, it did just not want to take to it. Plus I have like kind of a little welder. You have to really bang the heat in there, but let me try and fill that in, and then we'll kind of move on to the next step, I guess. That's the first time that's happened in a while. Since I've ran the power in here, I've yet to blow that breaker, but it's welded anyway. On this one, I just decided to run some stringers. I basically filled in the center and ran some stringers across the top, and now I'm just gonna try and grind that smooth, and then it's done, really. There's nothing else for me to do. I could probably weld it underneath at some point, the same with the mount for the hammers, but I'm actually thinking about making two of the center cut ones that are, there's only a half circle there instead of a full circle, and then I was thinking about running something off of there as well, and then maybe bracing that down the axle all together, and that will kind of make it super sturdy. It's only 1/8 inch plate, I know, probably should have went thicker, but it's honestly holding hammers fine. And again, they're gonna be like either like rawhide or nylon or wood hammers for shaping. So they have some steel stuff that has like nylon inserts. It just depends on what I end up buying. I've been looking at Snap Fabrication, right? Snap Fabrication. They make some really nice wood hammers, and I kind of want to make a good investment, but I've also been looking at some nylon stuff that's also made in the US, stuff that like Trick Tools sells and stuff like that, just to kind of fill this rack up. If I buy a set, it's probably gonna be like a set of 3 or like a set of 4, some, you know, like shrinking hammers, and some bossing hammers and stuff like that, bossing mallets, whatever you want to say. But anyway, we'll get to that part when we get to it. I'm not rushing to fill this thing up with hammers, so I have my one nylon hammer. I needed to get this stand made because we're gonna chop the top on the MG at some point, and we also need to do some forming to make some body panels. So if I had to use my bag, I can't use it unless I use it on the floor or like on my weld table. Now I kind of have a dedicated station for it, which I like. So let me grind this up and clean it up, and then we'll take a closer look at it. Okay, so I got that welded on, got the welds ground down, you know, nice and ready to use for the most part, I think. The top of this thing is pitted, like I said, but as you can see, we're holding hammers here. We got the station ready to go. I don't know how hot this thing is. It's probably very warm. It's not that bad. Is it that bad? It's pretty warm. But just to give a visual here, just like that, just like that, and boom, we're all set here. Now really the only thing I need to do is get this thing painted. I would like to sandblast the wheel before I paint it, but getting this thing painted would be pretty sweet. This thing came out awesome, I think, in my personal opinion. Let's get some close-up shots. So I think I'm gonna call this video quits. The shaping station came out pretty sweet. The fabrication part of it is obviously done. I can add to it at any time, which actually leads me to, originally I was thinking about maybe getting this sandblasted and powder coated, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to either clean it with like a Brillo pad and some soap and water and kind of get it to where it's dried off, wipe the whole thing down with acetone, and then just spray bomb it with some Rust-Oleum. That way, if I ever want to add to it, I just grind off some of the Rust-Oleum, weld whatever I want to weld to it, clean up the area, and then paint it again. It's going to get scratched up, it's going to get dinged up. I'm going to use it, so I don't think it's necessary for me to go crazy. I am still going to buy a beauty ring for it. I just need to find a cheap, like, single beauty ring. But yeah, so that's it. This is it. This is the shaping station. For those of you that don't know what this is, you fill these bags with shot or sand, and then you use any kind of mallet, really. You can use heavy metal like ball peen hammers. You can use the nylon bossing hammers. You can use shrinking stretching hammers, all kinds of stuff like that. And you use that bag to sort of bang in your rough shape on the steel that you're working on. So if you're making like the top of a gas tank, or if you're making even like a sail panel, like we did on the shoebox in the chop class, Voodoo Larry shows it in kind of like bare bones. So you make the sail panel, cut out your shape, bang in your rough shape, kind of mark it out, bang in your rough shape on the bag, and then we used the English wheel to sort of planish it out. You could use a planishing hammer or something along those lines as well. But yeah, that's kind of what you do. You rough in your shape, and then you use another tool to kind of make it nice again. So that's kind of what this is for. I've been needing to do this because I literally have this brand new shop bag here, and now I just need to get some nice hammers to fill up that rack, and I can get my body hammers and some other stuff that I'm using as like mock-up out of there. But anyway, maybe we'll do the painting in like a quick intro on another video just to get it done. I think I'm gonna leave it at this for right now, and then we'll come back to it. So anyway, that's it for this one. We're gonna be picking up the MG pretty soon, and this thing looks sweet. He sent me some pictures of it in epoxy prime today, and I pick it up in a few days. For you, this is like down the road. For me, it's fairly close. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna get that thing back in the garage, and it's gonna be awesome. So that's it for this one. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. Website is kennedyperformancefab.com. I'm working on new shirts. I have new stickers on the way. I will let you guys know when those are gonna be dropped. But yeah, I really appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the subscriptions, all the follows. You guys are awesome. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. See ya.